Hi, this is Phillip at Chateau Avensac, and we've been getting some questions about, are we done in the dining room and the library? These are the rooms probably some of the first videos we did were on these rooms. And so I thought we'd take a look and you can judge for yourself. All right, I am in the entrance hall and walking into the dining room. You can see here, there isn't a lot of change. The bookshelves from the library are, of course, still here. They're covered up to protect them. All the books are in there, which is great. And there's been some conduit work for electrical and plumbing work for the heating system. The public rooms are going to have radiators in them, so they have pipes for that. And here, right to the left under the window, getting shot. That's some of the conduit that's coming in for the electrical, and that's coming from the butler's pantry. So it's running under the floor in the butler's pantry. And if we take a quick peek in here, you can see there's a lot of conduit hanging on that wall. That's because under the stairs is going to be an electrical panel. So a lot of the electrical is running into that spot. And those white tubes just next to the window, that's going to be for a radiator that will be under the window. Let's go back into the dining room, and then we'll really see what's going on in the library. Just to pause here, you can see the white tubes to the right of the door. That's going to be for a radiator. There'll be 2 radiators in the dining room. Keep it warm and cozy. As I enter the library, you can see that sections of the floor have been taken up. Most of them run these white pipes. They're flexible, but not super flexible, so you have to be careful with them. Those are for the radiators. And also electrical, which are in these gray conduits that are running here. So all of this flooring has been taken up so we could dig and trench underneath the floor to lay these pipes and the electric. We were planning on taking up some of this floor in the library anyway, just to help tighten it all up. So some of this was all planned to happen anyway. But you can see the trenches that were dug. And where those 2 white tubes are coming up through the floor, that's where there's going to be a radiator in this room. There'll be 2 radiators in the library. One is here and one to the right of the fireplace, which is just over there. You can also see in the corner, there's a big gray drain pipe. So that's for the bathrooms that are going to be upstairs. And then that runs in this trench where these white tubes are. It's actually underneath them, so that's been filled in already. And that runs all the way out. Let's scoot over. Out straight across and under the door, and then under the stone on the back terrace, where there'll be the main drain running outside to the village. And as you can see, this trench in this room continues, I'm going to back up just a moment, continues through the library into the reception room. You'll also notice that in the library, the floor is basically laid on top of what they call a shop, which is a lime-based cement. So it's not cement, it's lime, and it's a hard lime surface that's on top of the dirt. So this room, when it was redone, they filled in the space under the floor, filled it with sand, then put the shop, which is lime, on top of that. That created a firm level surface, and then a little bit of sand, and then the wood parquet glued down onto that with bitumen. So that was sort of the style of how they laid the floors. This would have been done in the late 19th century, mid to late 19th century. You'll notice also the pile of parquet, that's all going to be reused. All this wood, and there's a bunch in the fireplace right now, all goes back. It's all numbered so that it can actually go back to exactly where it once was. Let's see if I can find a number. There's one there. I think that's 07, look right there. So all this is going to go back into the same place. It's actually the easiest way to refit it if it goes back where it was. But as I step into the reception room, you notice that the structure of the floor is very different. And that's because this floor was not altered. So this is more based on the original construction. Here, there's just, the dirt underneath, and then there are the support structures are laid on top of the dirt. And then the parquet is laid on top of that. So there's actually like a lot of space under the floor. There's like air gap under the floor. So it's just a different technique of structure from when the house was originally built in 1820 to when they did some remodeling and redid the floor of the library, where they used this sand and lime-based shop under the floors. So just a little bit of a different way of doing it, but kind of interesting in the history. You can see in front of the door, we've taken out the floor. Here, there was a lot of problems with water infiltration, and so the floor had sunk quite a bit. So this was all going to have to come out anyway. But while it was out, it was also the best way to run some of this electrical and the plumbing for the radiators.
Judy, Judy, Judy. All right, thanks, bye. Oh, hi, it's Judy from Chateau Avensac. I want to thank Kathy, who made a comment a couple videos ago. And look, I have a new job. I'm now the social media director of atthechateau.com. I have a question for all of you viewers today. So I've seen a number of videos where they talk about clickbait. I had to look it up. So I thought perhaps our videos should have clickbait intros, and I've designed a few. Here, I want to show them to you. Here's one now. What do you think? And another one. Oh, that one's really good. Oh, one more. Okay, so should I use them, or should we continue to be respectable and subtle as we have been lately? For example, today's thumbnail. Or perhaps this one. As the new head of social media, I'm trying to grow our subscribership. So you let me know in the comments which one you would click on. And don't forget, go to atthechateau.com, Chateau Treasures, and get your very own Gary Toasty artwork. All proceeds go directly to the restoration of the Chateau. I'm Judy from Chateau Avensac. Have a great day.
As I walk through, we can walk into the salon, and we see that in the salon we have the same kind of structure. The floors in front of the doors in the salon were particularly bad. They sunk several inches, so all that structure has now been taken out. Oh, that was my hand. All that structure has been taken out, and then that will have to get all replaced and the parquet put back. And you can see we've pulled the parquet, basically leaving it in the same layout it was in so it can go back in. Now, there's a lot of damaged parquet in this room, so there's going to have to be some new wood put in here to replace some of the damaged wood. But again, while the floor is open, they were running the radiator plumbing. And you can see now on the sides of the salon, this is where there's going to be a radiator on each side, so that's where one radiator is going to go, and another radiator will go on the other side opposite for heating these rooms. These radiators are all going to be, obviously it's hot water, and the hot water is coming from a heat pump. So the whole house will be on a heat pump system. And I want to step outside because I mentioned that there was problems with water infiltration, and we hope we found the culprit for this. And here it is. It's this drain. This drain is for the roofs. So this is a guttering system for the roof. Let's see, it goes all the way up to the roof. There are two of these on the back of the house, one on this side, and this one is between the doors of the salon, and there's one between the doors of the library. And if we look at the bottom, you can see that the bottom of the pipe just ends. And there was nothing left. There was nothing else there. There was no L with the pipe running out under the stone. There's a channel under the stone just to the right. It's sort of an open channel that was part of the original drainage system for the house. And so the water would drain down through this pipe and just flow into the space under the stone and then hopefully drain out through that channel to get it away from the house. But obviously a lot of water just stayed against the house, and that water just infiltrates the stone and comes through the stone, and then the wood structure from the floors gets wet and it rots away. And we find this at pretty much all the doors on the back of the house have this problem. This was particularly bad in the salon, which is where I'm behind right now. So we're gonna put an elbow at the end of this pipe, and we're trenching this out now to drain it out from under the stone here in the back terrace. And hopefully that will resolve the problem. So we're gonna do that, and then we'll just wait and see if that keeps things dry going forward and if there isn't some other issue going on with water here. So that's what's going on with the water issues. I want to point out that the last thing going on in this room is the end of these radiator pipes are going to go, and they're going through the wall in the back of the salon, and the other side of that wall is the back of the entrance hall. So I'm entering the entrance hall. This is from the reception room, and it's a little dark back here, but if I skirt to the side of the stairs, there's going to be a radiator on each side of the big staircase to help heat this space. And to get the plumbing there, we have taken out the tile just in this one little section. So we're on the other side. This wall to the left is the other side of the salon where those pipes were coming through. So those pipes are now underneath the sand, so it got refilled with sand, and they're going to the right. And you may remember this little door. That's the door to the children's room. It's particularly dark in here. Looking under the stairs, here, I've now got a flashlight with me. We can see the radiator pipes running under the stairs. These will, let's see if I can get down there. There we are. These are coming out from under the floor. So that's where they come out and they cross under the floor in the back of the entrance hall. And they'll feed the radiators that will go to either side of the stairs. And we'll put these in underneath the floor in here so that this eventually can be decked out for the children. And, you know, they should get some residual warmth from these pipes, you know, enough. I mean, what do kids need? Some raw chicken and a little warmth and they're fine. Let's close the door of the children's room. Anyway, that is the works that have been going on in the chateau, or at least in this section of the chateau. There's works going on upstairs, all relating to plumbing and electrical as well. Let's return to the entrance hall from whence we started. There have been questions about have these rooms been finished, the dining room and the library. And I think you can kind of see that they're not quite finished. Maybe a little paint and they're done. No, there's still a long way to go. But the work is progressing, so that's been really great. I hope you enjoyed this little tour of the works going on in the house. And please leave your comments. Let us know what you think. We love your questions. And thank you very much to our patrons on Patreon, whose contributions help support the work going on in the chateau. I used to be 5'9". Now I'm 5'7". It's so sad. I had to get a flashlight because, like, this is ridiculous. You're just looking at like a black hole. You'll just have to trust me. The radiator pipes are running here. I'll go get a flashlight. All right, I'll be right back. Just keep going. We're still rolling. Just pick it up and then you'll be able to...
Oh, and I want everyone to remember to go to atthechateau.com and get your Gary...
Toasty!